A friend of ours wanted a sign for their wedding, so we decided to use our CNC machine to make it for them. The first thing to do is create our design. For that, we're using Vectric VCarve software. I know the final dimensions of the sign are going to be roughly 7 inches by 21 inches and 3/4 of an inch thick. And I also want that design centered on the workpiece, so I'll set those parameters in the software. Now, you can use the tools in the software to create your design and define the vectors for the machine to cut. But in this case, I decided to download a file from the internet that contained some vector graphics that I wanted to use for this particular sign. After importing the graphics file, you can manipulate those graphics in any way you wish. Notice here that I can move the entire file and center it the way I like, and then I can move individual toolpaths to make an attractive design. For my sign, I decided to use some of the graphics elements I imported, but for the text, I decided to use the text tool and find a font that was attractive and use that instead. Now it's time to set all the parameters in the software to instruct it on what bit we're using in our CNC machine and some of the other parameters that it will need to be able to cut and route that sign. For this project, I'm only using one router bit, and that's a 45-degree half-inch diameter V bit, and I can specify that and pick that from the tool library in the software. After selecting all of the vectors I want to cut with that bit, I tell the software to calculate the toolpaths, and that's what's displayed next. You can even play an animation that will show you how the tool will cut that design in your project. Now we need to translate that toolpath into a file that the machine will understand. We'll generate a toolpath file based on the CNC machine that we are using, and we'll copy that file then to a USB drive to take to the CNC machine and route the project. You can manipulate the 3D image in the software just to make sure everything looks good and is acceptable to you before you send the file to the CNC machine for routing. Out in the shop we have our workpiece pre-cut, so I'm going to draw diagonal lines to mark the center of the workpiece. We'll instruct the CNC machine where that center point is and then securely clamp the workpiece to the table. The final step is to select the file from our USB drive and set up all the parameters we need to actually start routing the project. The last step is to press the start button and watch the project come to life.